welcome back to another video. We are in Team Building University, and today we are looking at defensive pivots. This is going to be the counterpart video to the offensive pivots. So basic categories of pivots. Pivots are Pokemon meant to affect the momentum of the game, and momentum is a concept that I'll get into later. It's kind of like an upper hand, but a little different than that. Momentum is, so defensive pivots, while offensive pivots serve to grab momentum and shift into your favor, defensive pivots serve more of a stop to your opponent's momentum and also to grab it. It's like they're similar and it's slightly different in functionality. It also is more depends on what your team's looking for. So defensive pivots, usually again, so good bulk, generally just good bulk, ability to switch into a good typing to resist a lot of things. That's a defensive pivot. Defensive pivots usually come in and force the opponent out. That might be the biggest difference between offensive and defensive. Offensive, come in, hit hard, come in, get out, shifting momentum into your favor. Defensive pivots, come in, force your opponent to switch out, and then grab momentum like that. So biggest defensive pivot I think in the OU tier, and probably the best one, arguably at least, is going to be Rotom Wash. Rotom Wash has fantastic bulk, fantastic typing that gives it only one weakness, bar, Mold Breaker, which is grass typing, which isn't a common attack anyways. Very few things run offensive grass moves like Venusaur does sometimes, and like Power Whip, Ferrothorn, I guess. But you can pick what. So what I'm going to say about Rotom Wash's bulk is that you got to really choose if you want to run defense or special defense, because you could do actually like this kind of set, which is something cool, and force Pain Split to do a lot of damage to your opponent because your health is so low. But what I will say is that you will find that the only way to really utilize Rotom Wash's bulk is to fully invest in it. It's one of those Pokemon with enough bulk to use once fully invested, but not enough to use if it's not fully invested. So what I find is that Rotom Wash can take a hit only on one side at a time. So you got to pick. You can't have it all. That's Pokemon. Usually Hydro Pump, Volt Switch are your go-to moves. It does learn Thunderbolt, but Volt Switch is kind of what pivots are good for. Pain Split is recovery. You could also run Chesto Resto, make this rest and hold a Chesto Berry. Gives you another option for recovery. And Will-O-Wisp to neuter your physical attackers. Pretty good spammable move, just really helps neuter your opponent's team. Rotom Wash is basically the go-to defensive pivot of the OU tier. Another really big defensive pivot is Slowbro. What Slowbro lacks in a pivot move, such as U-turn or Volt Switch, it makes up for with the Regenerator ability, which helps it just keep switching in and switching in. That coupled with Slack Off and Slowbro is a very, very hard Pokemon to take down. And that's what I love about it, on my teams at least. Not as much when my opponent uses it, but between Slack Off and Regenerator, it just doesn't die. Scald gives you a good option. This is a pretty offensive set here, but it still is kind of a defensive pivot. You could also replace any of these moves with maybe Thunder Wave. So Slack Off gives you some health. Leftovers gives you some more health. Scald is a good stab move with a decent burn chance, which is, lets you fish for burns, hopefully, weaken some physical attackers. Good coverage. Psyshock is another stab move that gives you some more coverage. Fire Blast can hit the Ferrothorns and the Scissors that want to switch in or stay in on Slowbro. But other options include, Thunder Wave is a great move to put in here. Flamethrower is better than Fire Blast for reliability. Ice Beam is an option. I think one of the most common ones, though, is going to be Thunder Wave. Toxic is also an option. But I like running Thunder Wave just because it helps Slowbro really put the pressure on offensive teams and really wall them and make them just really less functional. Alright, more defensive pivots. We got Jirachi. Jirachi does fill a lot of roles because it has a fantastic move pool, but this is a more defensive pivot set. We're running U-Turn Wish, Substitute Iron Head. What this Jirachi excels at, I don't know why these EVs, it's just what the EVs gives me here, but let's just do this. And again, Slowbro is only a physical, but between Jirachi and Rotom Wash you can really pick. Jirachi gives you some options as far as U-Turn Wish, Substitute Iron Head. You can U-turn, but you can also put Iron Head. You can do Jirachi is just a very versatile Pokemon. It fills a lot of roles. And Choice Scarfer, Choice Bander, Substitute, Staller, defensive pivot, it can do it all. Offensive pivot, really. But U-Turn Wish is cool because it lets you wish pass to an opponent, one of your teammates, while also doing damage to your opponent. So it's cool. It gives them really good wish passing ability, coupled with a good HP stat. Lets you really pass some big wishes. Substitute lets you sponge status moves and weak resisted attacks, and Iron Head is great for that Serene Grace flinch chance, because even though you're not going to outspeed a whole lot, it does help you out a lot versus really slow defensive Pokemon. So it keeps them weak, and also helps you out a lot with namely Clefable, who is a great, Clefable is not exactly a pivot, but Clefable does put the pressure on a lot of defense pivots because it's very hard to touch when you're not strong, so Jirachi helps with that a lot. Next defense pivot we're going to look at is going to be Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn is a great Pokemon. It wasn't in other videos, and it fills a lot of roles. Defensive pivot. Ferrothorn is a defensive pivot, not because of its ability to pivot, but because of its fantastic defensive typing and defensive stats. It can really just switch into anything. Iron Barbs plus Rocky Helmet can punish physical attackers, which is why I choose full defense investment. And then that'll really punish physical attackers. Then you can Leech Seed Protect, set up your rocks, Gyro Ball. It just comes in and really can help you shift, at least wall your opponent's momentum. Still, other options include Power Whip for an attacking move, also Knock Off. Stealth Rock could be Spikes. I like Protect, but again, you can choose not to run it. Plays with any of the other moves. And Leech Seed's pretty staple, but you can also choose not to run that. Other options are Toxic, Thunder Wave. Really, those are the two big moves. You can also run Leftovers, and when I'm talking about this, similar to concept of Rotom Wash, but what you could do is do this, and full invest in a special defense, and while your defenses aren't as big in either category now, you do get more Leech Seed does a little bit more, so this is a very good mixed bulk while also taking advantage of Leech Seed. Sorry, getting some water, but you're going to be suffering because you aren't going to have as much bulk on either end to take hits. Same thing with Rotom Wash. But what I will say is also you could invest in the special defense, and what that'll do for you will give you the ability to sponge up HP fires that a lot of Pokemon run just for Ferrothorn and Scissor, just to nab those guys. Lets you sponge a couple hits, helps you set up some Stealth Rocks on Magnezone or Leech Seed and really whittle that, because if you are running this Leech set, maybe even I think Leftovers might help, but I think Magnezone's Choice Scarf, Magnezone HP Fire is actually a 3-hit KO if you set up Leech Seed on the first turn. And so that put in between Protect, you can actually whittle that Magnezone down. I mean, yeah, with Protect and Leech Seed, you can get a 3-hit KO, and that whittles that Magnezone down a fair bit. So even though Ferrothorn is bait to Magnezone, it lets it, help out in the grand scheme of things. And I love Ferrothorn. It's just a fantastic Pokemon. It fits in any team, really. And next we go to Tornadus Therian. Okay, here's what I'm going to say about Tornadus Therian. Tornadus Therian does not scream defensive pivot at all, but I tried to make a set, this isn't super like that, but I tried to make a set that helps him be an option to switch into a lot of attacks. So AV plus Regenerator lets him switch in. Regenerator he can take any special attack, really. It's really good special bulk. Takes the attack, heals back up with Regenerator. Good, powerful attack moves. What you could do is you could actually switch some of these EVs into special defense and make his special defense even crazier. Go like that. Oh, my bad. And special defense will get actually fantastic. And then you could do like this, and then really just use it as a utility mon. Maybe teach it some Toxic, and then Taunt. Oh, I can't learn Taunt. Oh, you can't learn these moves, right? That's the problem with Assault Vest. But it has abusable bulk. You can pick some moves here. And with Assault Vest, this is very, very specially bulky, and then Regenerator less. It just keeps switching in, taking the hit, switching out, getting that health back. So Tornadus Therian doesn't scream defensive pivot, but it can be used as one in situations. Plus, again, all Pokemon that learn U-turn Volt Switch can become a valuable part of a U-turn Volt Turn strategy, or core. So that's worth keeping in mind. Hope that video was helpful, and Cracker Nation out.